We come to you live on I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Plainfield, New Jersey. It's Jay Williams.
Look at you giving my respect to the Queen City. It's going to be a big-time game tonight. Let's see who's ready to play on the floor.
You are a king in those parts. You never forget where it all began. And we're ready to start this one at midcourt. It's showtime. The tip won by Los Angeles. Jackson to George. Fires the three, and that's the start they wanted here on the road.
Execution is everything. I love the sharpness and precision they came out with in that first possession.
Jay, we talk about it all the time. The coaches in this league, who best puts their players in a position to shine? And now I give you Quinn Snyder.
I remember Quinn Snyder, after an ugly loss to Atlanta last year, really made some changes to their system. And here's the thing I love about Quinn Snyder. He recruited me when I was 15 and 16 years old. He was an assistant coach at Duke. The way he spoke to me really got me to buy in. He taught me that it was about being part of something bigger than yourself. And when you buy into what Quinn Snyder preaches, they see in the first round NBA playoffs.
George to Batum. Rudy Gobert able to recover with the block. Utah ball.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Bojan Bogdanovic. Tough matchup against George. A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
Because in certain players' mind, it doesn't matter if they're amongst the trees or not. They're always going to be the giant in the paint.
Mitchell with it up top. Down three. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at three coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, you need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Donovan Mitchell trying to cash in on a three-point play. For his career, 80% at the line. And he can't convert the free throw. To Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson rocks the rim. Where did that come from?
It's like he got in an elevator and went to floor 8. And Ed, I have to say something, okay? 6'3", 6 feet, 5'11", those aren't small guys. In the big scheme of things, they're pretty tall compared to the average person in public.
I feel like you're speaking from experience.
Everyday experience, my friend. Every day.
Hey, big screen right there, big screen.
That's out of bounds. Last touch by the Jazz. Clippers have the basketball. Screen coming. Paul George. Knocked loose. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. So possession stays with the Jazz. Has a chance. Mitchell shot, no good. Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with the steal. Mitchell on the drive, but he can't finish. Great pass to set it up. Marcus Morris, strong finish.
And that is the sign of an unselfish team. When everybody in transition thinks they have a chance to get the ball because you have a willing passer, offense and give you more energy on the defensive end.
Jazz have the ball. Jay, upon scanning this Clippers roster, there are a lot of guards for Doc Rivers to work with.
Yeah, they have a plethora of guards, and if I'm this team and if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm thinking about how do I throw as many guards at you as possible, because Doc wants to get another guard in there to apply the same pressure. They should be the new modern-day Detroit Pistons with the style they play defensively.
Paul George, 2 for 3 now here in the first. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Gobert. That out of his range and no good. Jackson with it. His team up by 7. To Marcus Morris. Here comes the screen. To Joe Ingles. Great look and vision. Good. Off a spin.
Did you see that change of direction mid-flight? And also the English he utilized to spin the ball off the rim? That was a thing of beauty.
It's LA Clippers ball. Jackson to Luke Kennard. From the painted area, won't go down. Mitchell with the basketball. Down 5. And abuses the rim with the slam.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. George. He was all over him.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Rudy Gobert with a peek. Blocked away.
That one's in the 15th row.
Huge denial. Substitution being made in this one. Jackson. It's Jazz ball.
I'm here. I got ball.
Oh, nice step through to get to the basket.
These two teams are matching basket for basket. If the pace of the game is going to be like this, I need to start stretching.
Have to be careful inbounding the basketball, but good anticipation by the defense.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Time to shuffle things up. George to Marcus Morris. And he's going to the free throw line.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. But you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
Nikola Batum at the line for 2 shots. A career 83% free throw shooter. And hits the first free throw.
You know that's easy. They can't guard you.
And he makes them both. Donovan Mitchell with the rock.
I got ball.
Wide open look, won't go.
Oh, I like that. You got the defense rotating from side to side. They're even recovering late, but still, you got to make that one.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. 14-13 our score. It's a 1-point game. Rudy Gobert. 3 for 4. Good start.
The true measure of Rudy Gobert comes on the defensive end. He was all-NBA defensive first team and was tied for the lowest opponent field goal percentage at 43%. You ain't getting by that.
Paul George. Huge block. And that's going to be out of bounds off of George. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Conley. Mike Conley, 2 for 2. That's what you want.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose a dagger with the 3.
Driving is Rondo, but his shot won't fall.
Woo! I like that intensity on that play. That's how you actually dig in the dirt and do your job on the defensive end.
Beverly. Oh, not a good pass there as it's stolen by Utah. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
LA Clippers with the basketball. Down low to Cousins. Going to launch. Beyond the arc. Knocks it down. Defender has to get there next time.
And I just hear my high school coach preaching this thing to me every single day, and it's still pertinent for the NBA. It's all about spacing. And when you have guys who are lethal three-point shooters and they understand spacing, oh, that whole floor opens up, and that's a thing of beauty to watch.
DeMarcus Cousins snatching it out of the air.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
To Nick Batum. Nikola Batum missed his first. That one goes.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Conley into the front court. Leads 3. Knocked loose. Clippers have it. Beverly. Boogie abusing the rim. Big finish. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Free throws coming up.
Guys.
Here's Rondo with it. They're down 3. Lays it up and in.
I'm telling you right now, with moves like that, scoring is not going to be an issue tonight.
Utah's got it. Conley. The pass set it all up.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Coach has seen enough. He wants some changes. New personnel onto the floor. To Beverly. Derek Favors sends it away. That's his 3rd block this evening. And too much contact.
A simple touch foul.
Count the basket at the rim.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
And throws it down.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
Conley into the front court. Up by 3. Mike Conley looking good. 4 for 5.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
Derek Favors pins it. Utah with the possession.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
A good defense by the Jazz as they come away with it. Knocked loose.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in 1st and 2nd grade. Is called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. Leads 5. Work it down to Favors. Slam dunk, Derek Favors.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with the steal. To Conley. A drive to the basket, but the shot won't go down. To Beverly. George Niang sends it away.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Let's go. Pick him up. Pick him up. Yep, I got him. I got him. Here we go. I'm hillside. I'm hillside.
To Conley. Mike Conley. He's now shooting 5 for 7.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. It's the Clippers with the possession now. Paul George. Knocked loose. George misfires. It's no good. Conley into the front court. They can get a 2 for 1 if they play this right. Deep 2 there. Won't go.
You see, this is something that everybody has, but some people choose to use it or not. I'm glad you choose to use effort on getting around those screens.
Clarkson with the basketball. The lead stands at 9. Favors. And it's Zubac with the rebound. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
That's what they need to do more of. Attack that basket. Hit them where it hurts.
Conley against Cousins. Deep 3 at the buzzer. The first quarter's complete. The Jazz out in front. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Conley into the front court. Lead stands at 7. Clarkson to Conley. And the Clippers with the rebound.
Pick up.
He was hacked. They let it go. Across the timeline, it's Conley. Looking to make something happen. Clarkson to Favors. Great feed. And he throws it down. Rudy Gobert with the slam.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Beverly to Cousins. George. He engulfed him that time.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
George. Paul George. He's going to get 3 shots here. A career 84% free throw shooter. First free throw is good. Knocks down the second free throw. Perfect from the line. It's all 3 of them. That's out. Last touch by Rudy Gobert. Time for some new personnel into the game. Batum to Beverly. Derek Favors with the block.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
And if you're on defense on that last possession, no need to look over to the coach's bench, hold up your arms, wonder what did you do. Everybody got back, everybody communicated, everybody pointed. It was just better offense than there was defense.
Utah ball.
I got ball. I got ball.
Sizing up the defense. Gets a look. Can't hit.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Shot from the lane won't go. To Favors. No. Beverly to Cousins. Nothing going here on that drive. And he's going to the line to shoot.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
Knocks down the first. So he hits the first, misses the second. Jazz have the ball. Gobert to Conley. And he hits.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Paul George is going to get a chance at 3 here. He's perfect from the line so far. And he connects on the first free throw. Second of 3 is good. And he cashes in at the line. 3 for 3. Mitchell with it up top. His team on top by 8. Joe Ingles knocked loose. Clippers have got it. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Nick Batum. Nothing going here on that drive.
Keep him hit. Here I come. Here I come.
To Joe Ingles.
I'm here. Double, 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 double. Be alert. Here it comes. Be alert.
Beverly
Shoot
to
it.
Paul George. Here comes the screen.
Left.
George. Textbook defense. To Joe Ingles. And the finish at the rim.
Well, he finished strong because he was able to initiate the contact. When you initiate the contact first, you bounce off the defender, which balances you at the rim.
Conley into the front court. The lead stands at 10. Knocked loose. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. It'll stay with Utah. Driving right to the basket. Split the D there, but he can't get it to drop.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Cousins. From the painted area, won't go down. And they call it.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
They're going to make some changes with some new personnel on the floor. DeMarcus Cousins rejects it.
And that's out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. Big slam. Oh, he looked like he was on a mission.
Defenders had no chance on that one. That's why we call it the elite tier.
Mitchell with the basketball. It's an 8-point lead.
Double.
To Gobert. Oh, ferocious slam inside.
I see the easy dunk, But what I don't see is energy. Scream, do something. Get yourself emotionally involved in the game.
And Cousins throwing it down.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Donovan Mitchell with the rock to Joe Ingles. Lets it fly from beyond the arc, and the rebound taken in by Beverly. To Batum. George buries it on the catch and shoot.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Beverly. Had a chance, but it's no good. Now preparing to shoot at the line. Throws on the way. He struggled so far. First one, counted. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. To Nick Batum. And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
Oops, he missed the first one. And he's able to hit the second after missing that first one. Donovan Mitchell with the rock. Surveys the floor. 5 to shoot for Utah. He's looking for that touch. And draws the cut. Rudy Gobert. He's got 2 shots. Misses the first. Second one goes. It's a 1-of-2 trip. To Batum. Oh, not a good pass there as it's stolen by Utah.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Nikola Batum. He is shooting well. He's made 2/3 of his shots.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Mitchell in a matchup with Boogie. Here comes the screen. Mitchell. Pulled down by Batum. To Beverly. Batum to George. Beyond the arc for 3. Cleans it up. Batum to Beverly. Paul George. 4-2. And a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
It's Jazz ball. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. Beverly to Paul George. A good defense by the Jazz as they come away with it. Knocked loose. Clippers have it. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way there.
Bojan Bogdanovic against George. To Gobert. You've got to get that one to go. to Beverly. And Cousins is fouled. Boogie going to the line. He's going to shoot 2.
Okay. The tone for the second half here.
DeMarcus Cousins at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 73%. And hits the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Clarkson with the basketball. Down a point. Straight down the middle of the lane. Way to punch it home.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
George to Marcus Morris. Paul George to Jackson. Here comes the screen. LA with 4 to shoot. For 3. Marcus Morris is going to get 3 shots here. For his career, 73%. First try at the line, no good. That one won't go. One more to come. And he converts from the line. Clarkson with the basketball. He'll run the offense. Count the basket inside.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Here comes the screen. George to Reggie Jackson. Off the mark on the first free throw. So he goes 1 for 2 from the line after hitting on the second. Clarkson with the basketball. Leads just a point.
Got him. Be up, baby. Be up.
To Joe Ingles. Has a look. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here, because that was not an easy look.
Oh, nice find for the basket.
And when the ball gets the defense rotating from side to side, you're bound to find opportunities for each other.
Clarkson to Joe Ingles. Knocked loose. Clippers have got it. Cousins to Jackson. Reggie Jackson. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
And they call the foul. Careful there, Jim.
Timing was just a tad bit off.
Favors. Down low for Gobert. Cashes in for 2.
And ISO basketball is becoming a thing of the past. Team basketball is back. And if you have that personnel with the versatility plus the mindset, game over.
Jackson to George. Cruises inside for two.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next-level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Won't go. Almost. Unlucky bounce. Reggie Jackson swats it.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Gobert to Joe Ingles. Down low to Favors. It goes down.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
Jackson to Paul George. Down low, Boogie. Gets it in the left corner. Batum. Nobody even close to him. Nick Batum strikes with the basket.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough two than a wide-open three.
And a whistle. Knocked loose.
Those cat-like hands almost got a steal.
First one goes down. And gets both to drop at the line. Jackson with it. Leads three to Marcus Morris. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Clarkson with the basketball. His guys can hold for the final shot. The drive right to the basket. Too much contact. And free throws coming.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Jordan Clarkson, a couple of free throws on the way. For his career, 80% at the line. First free throw is good. Second one off the mark. He goes 1 for 2. Luke Kennard slams it down. Late heave to beat the buzzer. First half comes to an end. The Clippers have the lead.
Thanks, Ed. We'll start the second half with a narrow lead. Clearly, the number of three-pointers these guys scored in the first half was incredible. And if they can keep that up, it's going to be tough to keep that team down. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Jazz are keeping things competitive after 2 quarters. And even though they don't have the lead, they're doing a great job of moving the ball around. They might find themselves on the winning end of the scoreboard if they can keep it up. These are the guys getting buckets for the Utah Jazz.
Game track. Steals.
The story of this game so far has been the lack of ball security. Neither team can hold on to the ball, and unfortunately, it made the first half kind of tough to watch.
Player of the half.
Paul George really showed off his court vision in the first half. When he's able to get the ball moving like that, his team can be tough to stop. Here are the top plays from the opening half.
Number 2. Number 1.
All right, back to the second half. I'll see you after the game.
Donovan Mitchell with the rock.
I got him.
Working hard on the glass. Kennard. Mitchell with it up top. The deficit is 6. To Joe Ingles. Knocked loose. Clippers have it.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
Gets it in the right corner. Here comes the screen. George, he's not shy about shooting it from out there, but he misses this time.
People do not realize the brilliance of the coaching in this league. The small adjustments made defensively has made all the difference in the second half.
Paul George to Marcus Morris. Curling inside. Cousins. And the rebound taken down by Mitchell. Joe Ingles. Nice pass to set things up. Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down. Whoa, he got up there.
Just showing you that 40-inch vertical.
To Luke Kennard. George driving right to the basket. Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want.
Scores and the foul. Rudy Gobert. The basket, and now a chance at a 3.
Something at the last second, that's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Clippers have the basketball. Paul George to Luke Kennard. Here comes the screen. George buries it on the catch and shoot.
And here's the setup, Ed, down the stretch. From a player who's been in these type of positions, eventually I'm going to hit you with a head fake, and you're going to have to jump considering I just made the last couple of threes. And that's when I find an easy way to get to the rim or force the defense to collapse to kick out for, guess what, another one.
Lets it fly from long range. That one off the mark. It's no good. Jackson to Nick Batum. From long range. Knocks it down.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
George to Batum. Here's a chance from long range. And Nikola Batum. Good from the outside.
You live by the three, you die by the three. And guess what? They're living large right now.
To Gobert. From the painted area, won't go down. Jackson with it. It's an 8-point lead. To Luke Kennard. And look out.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Mitchell with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. And count the basket.
Ooh, I'm telling you from experience, his teammates will never let that one down.
Jackson with it. His team on top by 8. To George. Here comes the screen. George. Now that's a contest. The pass taken away by the Clippers.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort is off the charts.
To Nick Batum. Shot from the lane won't go. Mitchell with it up top. His club's staring up at an 8-point deficit. And the two. Rudy Gobert cashes in.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Nothing going here on that drive. Here comes the screen. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket.
Oh, don't see the read. Be the read.
Mitchell with the basketball. Down 8. Yes! And a foul. He'll have a chance.
Fully on the defensive end by allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Getting dirty. Loose ball on the deck. Nice follow-up on the dunk there. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
And he's... knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2.
Good shot, man.
Donovan Mitchell with the rock. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. To Paul George. 4-3. Trying for a 30-point night, but it's no good. And a putback slam.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in the zone by himself.
Mitchell with it up top. Margins 8. And the rebound taken down by the Clippers. Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with the steal. The pass taken away by the Clippers. To George. Fires the 3. He's been dialed in from long distance. That's now 5 threes for the game.
Nothing more painful than the next day watching tape, seeing the fact that he got 15 points off 3-point shots.
Clippers have got it. Jackson to Paul George. Trying to cash in. Oh, he was wide open. And it's not going to be pretty when they watch the video. Someone's getting chewed out.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Double team. Here we go. Go, go, go.
Fires the 3. That's off the side of the rim. No good. Jackson with it. The advantage is 13 points. Paul George to Luke Kennard. George. And the Jazz have it. They've cleared the rebound. Favors. And the Clippers able to clear the board. To Luke Kennard. Oh, not a good pass there as it's stolen by Utah. Offensive board. Rebound Marcus Morris. Strong finish for Paul George.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat 5, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
Mitchell with the basketball. Down by 15. Clarkson. Nice pass to get things going.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
It's LA Clippers ball. Probing the defense. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Jackson to Cousins. The shot clock expires. New blood coming in for both sides. Doesn't have the touch. No good.
Sometimes in this game, the shots don't fall. You have to get yourself to the next play, though. That's the most important thing.
Kennard. Rondo. Cleans it up to George. Three in the key. Clarkson. That is great vision to set it up. He gets it.
D. Favors may never become the star that some of us expected him to be for a guy taking 3rd overall in the 2010 NBA draft. But what he has done is build himself a very solid NBA career by being a strong, low-post presence.
George Niang against Paul George. To Clarkson. The drive, right to the basket, straight down the middle of the lane. Way to punch it home. Here on their home floor, they're chipping away.
I mean, does this crowd have a pulse? Are they even alive? Sometimes when you make a play like that, your crowd needs to get you back in this ball game.
George. Going to launch beyond the arc. Off the mark. Clarkson with the basketball. His guys down by 9. Not that time.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short, which made him short-arm the shot.
He's going to the free throw line to shoot.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
Rajon Rondo. He's got 2 shots coming. He wants this number up. 60% career free throw shooter. First try, no good. Knocks down the second after missing the first. Utah's got it. Over to the right side. And scores. Strong take.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the bucket.
Paul George to Cousins. Oh, big finish at the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
George. No good. That's great defense.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
George. That's good D. Shot no good. Conley.
Here we go. I got him. I got him. Back on. You got him. Got him.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. And Mike Conley at his size gets it away quickly and knocks it down from beyond the arc.
I know the refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
Utah with the possession.
I got ball. That's me. I got ball. I got ball.
To Clarkson. Jumper's good.
I get tired of hearing guys say, I was there, I contested a shot, I pretty much had a hand in his face. Well, no, you have to change up the game. If a guy is right-handed, he is right eye dominant. Get that hand over his right eye, block his vision. That'll enhance his chances of missing the shot.
So important to take care of the basketball. Easy, too, on the other end after the turnover.
You know, Ed, the effort is what concerns me the most. Effort is replenishable. If you're tired, raise your hand, check yourself out. Get somebody who actually wants to get back in transition and play some defense. That will help your team win the game, not you just staying in the game to be better on offense.
Nice pass to set things up. Desperation shot here from half court. 3 quarters down, and the Clippers are out in front. The Clippers with the basketball as we begin the 4th quarter, and they'll be looking to finish strong.
And when you play stingy defense on one end, the other end takes care of itself.
Rondo into the front court. Up 5 to Luke Kennard. Driving right to the basket. Off the mark. He's made those before, but that was well defended. Conley into the front court. He'll run the offense. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. To Luke Kennard. Not that time.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Layup goes down. Well done.
There's some players out there that like the freedom of space, and then we have the anomalies. We have the players who feel comfortable being uncomfortable, and almost the physicality of the game centers them and puts them right on balance every time.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Utah ball. Has a chance. Count the basket.
The defender needs to do a better job of forcing a pickup there.
Wow, look at him dive for the loose ball. That's out of bounds. Last touch by the Jazz. George. To Cousins. No good. To Conley. Gets a look. Can't hit. Paul George. To Batum. Beyond the arc for 3. Had made his first couple, but he misses there. Across the timeline, it's Conley. Leads just a point. A drive down the lane, but the shot won't go. Cousins. Tough shot, and nearly a chance at a 3-point play. No foul.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Wide open look, won't go. Conley into the front court. His guys now trailing by a point. Cousins. A good defense by the Jazz as they come away with it.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in the playoff game, it will.
It's a big finish.
An easy two. Get back on defense.
Conley into the front court. His guys down 3. To Clarkson. The Jazz with 4 on the shot clock. To Favors. Shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Like a mad scientist, Quinn Snyder making some moves to his bench. To Paul George. Rudy Gobert tips it. 4th this contest.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
To Conley. Passed it off. And the slam.
I mean, defense, is it that easy? Can I see some reaction after somebody gets an easy dunk? Some yelling, some kind of emotion? I need you to get involved back in this ballgame.
LA Clippers with the basketball. Knocked loose. To George. Here comes the screen. George, he's not shy about shooting it from out there, but he misses this time. George, not going down here. They get it down to Mitchell. Throws it down.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
George to Nick Batum. Rudy Gobert able to recover with the block. Ooh, 5 now.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Paul George to Batum. Nikola Batum. With that shot, he's 5 for 8.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. Leads 1. Whistle sounds. We have a tie-up. Jump ball. Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. Batum to Paul George. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. Shot clock violation. Even to Zubats with a piece.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Conley into the front court. His guys now down by a point. Mitchell against Paul George. Got it. Conley to Joe Ingles. DeMarcus Cousins. Huge block.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
George. And the rebound taken in by Utah. He cruises in for two. Too easy.
That might have been a little bit easier than expected there, considering the score.
Hey, screen.
Could not throw it down. Mitchell with it up top. Lead is 2. To Conley. Bad pass there. Clippers have it.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. Is called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
To Gobert. The crossover gets in.
This is why I go back into player mode. If the dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
Conley into the front court. They lead it. 4-point game. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
And that is the sign of an unselfish team. When everybody in transition thinks they have a chance to get the ball because you have a willing passer, somebody willing to make other players on his team look great, that's only going to force your players to play that much harder on offense and give you more energy on the defensive end.
George, knocked loose. To Gobert.
Make it tough on him.
Off the assist.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
Paul George to Cousins. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
DeMarcus Cousins at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. Hasn't missed yet. Unable to connect on the free throw. To Cousins for 3. Not that time. He missed it. George. To Beverly. Hat-trick Beverly. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Conley knocks it down from mid-range.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
To Reggie Jackson. George. It's no good. Shot's not going down.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Knocked loose. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Patrick Beverly. So possession stays with the Jazz. Here comes some substitutions. Shot for Mitchell won't go. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
Players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ball game.
Right down the lane, but the shot won't go.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Working hard on the ground. Oh, and a putback.
For any fans out there that thought Donovan Mitchell didn't put any stock into the fact that he was not the Rookie of the Year, you are wrong. Donovan Mitchell was that type of guy that uses everything in his power to fuel him to be the best on the court each and every day. If that was a campaign he built with Adidas, rookie question mark, it doesn't matter. That perceived failure is something that will only make this kid better tomorrow.
The pass taken away by the Clippers. To Jackson. Reggie Jackson rocks the rim.
It's a new day in sports when you see little guards dunk the ball like they're big. That's called a 40-inch vertical.
Jazz have the ball. To Joe Ingles. Gobert. Flushes it home.
Oh, right after the dunk, he looks right over towards the bench, gets a call from the coach about what defense they're in, and then gets his team set. Those are people that are able to lead men.
And scores. Nice footwork to get around the defender.
And that transition offense was flawless. When guys fan out and actually fill the lanes with a sense of urgency, you heard me correctly, a sense of urgency, you will get a great shot every possession.
Strong finish for Paul George.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Mitchell with the basketball. 2-point advantage. Jackson with it. Looking to make something happen. And counted at the rim.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Mitchell with it up top. All even here in the fourth. No time left in this quarter. Scoreboard says... And the extra period begins. Knocked loose. To Gobert. Count the bucket for 2.
The true measure of Rudy Gobert comes on the defensive end. He was all-NBA defensive first team and was tied for the lowest opponent field goal percentage at 43%. You ain't getting by that.
To the basket goes Jackson, but a shot won't fall. Gets to the basket and scores.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
Jackson to Beverly. Jackson to Beverly. Missed a wide open look. Donovan Mitchell with the rock. Oh, they call him for the foul.
Those cat-like hands almost got a steal.
Opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. Shot clock winding down. Reggie Jackson snatching it out of the air. Incredible. 6 tonight.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Jackson to George. To Gobert. Off the iron. It came out.
And you have to remember that your hand is part of the ball. There wasn't enough contact on that play for the refs to blow the whistle.
Buries it on the catch and shoot.
I know he's a volume shooter. I know defensively at times you have to take your lumps. Might be time to adjust the scouting report, though. Start denying him the ball.
Donovan Mitchell with the rock. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And number 2, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
And he misses that one free throw. To Luke Kennard. To Paul George. Here comes the screen. Paul George. Won't go down. To Luke Kennard. Lets it fly from long range. No good. Knocked loose. Clippers have it. Jackson. George. That's off the side of the rim. Short. To Joe Ingles. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Look at that. Calm under pressure. You see a lot of guys rush those. Nice extra move there.
Jackson knocked loose. Jazz pick it up. To Gobert. Tried to slam it down, but it comes out. Screen coming. Cousins to Marcus Morris. From long range. Contested shot, Marcus Morris can't hit.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
I see the easy dunk, but what I don't see is energy. Scream, do something, get yourself emotionally involved in the game.
Cousins. To Marcus Morris. Down low, George. Can't slam it down. Gobert. Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
He was so wide open. Pretty much looked like a deer staring into the headlights. Last resort, but still, points on the board.
Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with the steal. And the defender over pursues, and he's called for it.
Ed, you can't lunge like that.
Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups. Down to Gobert. Slams it down. Now the Clippers call a timeout. They're down big in this fourth quarter, and a chance here to empty their bench. Substitution being made in this one. To Marcus Morris. Here's a chance from long range. Shot off the mark. Good defense.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Gets it in the left corner to Joe Ingles. Oh, great pass, setting up the basket.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
George, he's not shy about shooting it from out there, but he misses this time.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Ingles, tough matchup against George. Oh, a whistle.
Welcome to new age basketball. You blow on me, that's a foul.
Donovan Mitchell at the line for 2 shots. He's shooting 40% in this one. And he connects on the first free throw. Able to convert on both free throws. It's the Jazz who come away with the victory as they win it in overtime. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
Jalen Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Jazz clocked some overtime for today's win. It was a remarkable game for the way it ended, but it was also a terrific game overall. I'm glad to have been a part of it. Here are the guys who put up the most points. For the Utah Jazz, the Clippers must be devastated after such a close loss. While they did put together quite a highlight reel of dunks in this matchup, they did not put together a win. As we all know, style points never show up on the scoreboard. Check out the leading scores for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Game track. Assists.
It's a shame only one team can win when you have such great team basketball on display. The ball movement was tremendous.
Player of the game.
Gobert seemed to think he could only score points with dunks in this game. Again and again, he kept throwing them down, and it was just astonishing.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have their off nights. Today was just one of those days for this guy. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
See y'all next time. Jalen Rose signing out.
got ball. I got ball. I got ball. I got ball.
Screen coming right.
Oh, my boy.
Come on, man. Get that screen.
Yeah, what is that, dog? Come on, man.
Match up, baby. Oh, yeah. It's me and you. Mouse in the house.
Yeah, I'm open. Come on.
I got it.
I'm right
Everybody,
here.
get back. Yes, sir. You're on the island now.
Here we go. I got him. This all sits where he come from. Outlet. Push it.
Shot.
Be alert. Here it comes. Be alert. Good shot, man.
Hey, give me the rock. Take that shot, dog.
Here I am.
Get your man.
Go. What you up there, boy? Screen right.
What's going up? Hey, that's lazy, man.
Doing like that. Gotta get through this rain. Get through it.
Big finish. Here we go. My ball. Hey, switch. I got him. Defense is unacceptable.
Green light.
Hey, check up. Let's go.
Good finish. ball. My ball. I got ball. I got ball. I got ball.
Oh, God, son.
My ball. I got it. Let's go. I'm open.
Screen left.
If you don't give me the ball right now,